sorry, we have some technical issue, so please wait.
Hello, pardon me for that. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Carlos, for your wonderful speech. For the next, without any delay, I would like to call upon our advisor of SPE-UTM SC, Dr. Shazira binti Omar, to deliver a few welcoming speech. Please welcome Dr. Shazira.
Thank you so much, Berta. So, Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all the students. Our speaker today, Mr. Hollis Francis, and our director of the SPE-UTM Student Chapter, Software Workshop 2024, Haikal Azahari, as well as the Vice President of SPE-UTM Student Chapter, Mr. Carlos Shidik. So the chance to provide a brief opening statement for the gathering today is an honor. Thank you so much, all right, for inviting me. So prior to anything else, let me express my gratitude to Haikal and teams, right, for organizing this event. So the gathering and participation in this event are both quite enjoyable. So as I see everyone participating in this event, I am excited. With that, I will turn it back to the MC in the hopes that everything goes off without a hitch. So hopefully you guys can invite all of your friends to join so that we can get more participants lah. All right, so I think that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shazira, for those wonderful remarks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the main agenda of the event. But before we do so, I would like to introduce our speaker for today. Allow me to introduce Mr. Hollis Francis. It's worth noting that Mr. Hollis has also served as a lecturer at UTM, reflecting his lifelong passion for physics. Additionally, he held the position of Deputy Director of AMEU, Association of Malaysian Economic Undergraduates, last year, and gained experience working with Petronas, contributing to group technical capability management. Mr. Hollis brings a truly unique and diverse background to our discussion, particularly in the realm of Power BI, and I have no doubt that his insight will stimulate rich and thought-provoking conversations on this topic. But before we commence the event, let me take a moment to remind you all that throughout the day, learning entails not only with absorbing information, but also actively engaging with the material. Ask questions to nurture your curiosity. Let's seize this golden opportunity to learn, connect, and pave the way for innovation. Without further ado, let's delve into today's section of learning and exploration with the first session featuring Mr. Hollis Francis. It is my pleasure to host such an esteemed speaker, especially one with expertise in Power BI. Now the platform is all yours, Mr. Hollis. So please, join me in welcoming him with a round of applause. Everybody feel free to spam the clapping hand emoji.
Right. Thank you for the introduction. And also, I would like to say thank you for the all the committee that involved in this Society for Petroleum Engineers Student Chapter UTM, and ultimately thank you all the participants who would like to spend the weekend to learn about Power BI. All right, I'll share my slide. Can you guys see my slide?
Yes.
All right, cool. So let's begin. At first, I have no really experience in Power BI because especially during the PKP lah. So during the PKP, Malaysian government has a lot of initiative where they launch a lot of free courses like Coursera, and then he venture a lot of opportunities online, for example, YouTube and also data cam. So essentially, there's a lot of online certification in Power BI out there. So this is very it helped me a lot in securing my job, my intern, and as well I believe that it will be a benefit for all of you guys too. So hope that you guys are engaging in this training. And before we begin, I hope all of you, I believe, already installed Power BI. Supposedly, you have already equipped or fully updated Power BI, because we are going to use a lot of function and features in Power BI, right? So for today's topic, I'm going to touch on three topics, which is the introduction, my introduction, and as well introduction in Power BI, and then as well and in data preparation and visualization. Last but not least, we're going to hands-on section. So why do I want to highlight the data preparation and visualization? Because some people, right, when you handle the data, actually you have to acknowledge what is the most important element in your data. What are you trying to find? What are you trying to visualize? What are you trying to highlight? Because those things are going to maybe your stakeholder going to look after your dashboard, or maybe your client, right? So you have to understand your what you're trying to prepare and visualize, right? So we're going to go through all of this part, and then as well I'm going to show you what have I done now. Okay, so I'm going to give brief introduction about myself. So I think all of the my background were um, um, the MC was introduced about me. So I was a part-time lecturer and an executive trainee at PNB, Pemuda Malaysia Berhad, and internship trainee at Petroleum Malaysia Berhad, right? And currently I'm a master student full-time in physics. So while I was executive trainee at Pemuda Malaysia Berhad, and I also consultant fellowship at McKinsey and Company. So one thing I would like to highlight while I was working as executive trainee and also internship at PNP and Petronas, I did a lot of data, not only 100, like 1,000 rows and columns, a lot of data. So I've been overwhelmed about like how huge like the data lah. So in my department, there are some people that um, responsible to clean the data, some people responsible to design the data architecture, some people are responsible to the data modeling, especially me lah, and then visualization, preparation, right? So I'm going to share what have I done so and so forth. So while I was intern, there are few projects that I have done. The, the first project I would like to highlight, I think the successful one lah, it's Puspa. Puspa is Petronas Unified Search and Personal Assistant. So in this top left, you can see over here, right? So when Petronas created an app, right, I have able to access their data. For example, the number of clicks in Petronas application, the number of staff that access to the application that we develop, the number of unique click, average click per person. So this KPI is very important for developer to update or to identify how do they want to improve for the next improvement, right? For the next, for example, to identify bug, for example, like each button have less clicks, so might as well we remove the redundancies, and then I can acknowledge like the business unit. So we can see that sorry, we can see that I think I used the we can see that which business unit utilize the Petronas app so much. So and then we can emphasize, for example, PDNT, per project delivery and technology, right? So we can look after what do they utilize like in the app, right? Now we can see the skill group and then the position. So mostly executive access, and then second highest is manager, right? And then the top right is I did a freelance on getting the data from the government, right? For example, the export and import. This data is up to 2022, right? So we can see the first major export and import. The first export is the total electronic, and the second one is petroleum lah, oils, refinery oils, and then the third is vegetable oil, and comes with natural gases, electrical appliances, right? So we can see like the total of export, right? First is Singapore and China and the United States. So those are our partners lah. So these key elements are very important. For example, if you have a client, right? You want to identify who is your customer, what's your the most famous product, right? So how you want to visualize this from raw data from Excel to Power BI so that people can identify, how to strategize their business, right? This is on behalf of Ministry of Economy. On the bottom right is the one of the function in as we call it capability help. So capability help is that where basically back then before capability help was developed, Petronas staff, if they want to inquiry document or form, they have to go through to contact people through Teams, Microsoft Teams individually. And some people, they don't really have the form, or some people, you have to go a lot of hierarchy to finally reach to the final point. So it consumes a lot of times, right? So time spent after we launched the capability help, it really reduced productivity of Petronas staff. Okay, so if you can see, less than 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours per week, 1 to 4 hours per week. The maximum people can get rid of capability helps the formula in Petronas. So before the launch, right, we can see even more than 6 hours, 5 to 6 hours, 3 to 4 hours. Some people are still stuck to get a form, right? So, for example, if you are being to business venture or any businesses out there, right? Times is money. It's very valuable. So they want to save time as much as they can, right? That's why they launched Capability Help. And while I was intern, I worked on several projects. So Capability help them to improve the productivity. So when they launch, right, they want to know. They give me a data where they can. I have to visualize on how's the improvement, right? So you can see that 63 responses spend less than 1 hour after the launch. So 45% require more than 1 hour before, right? So you can see a lot of improvement on 63. Okay. Bottom left is basically a physics data. It's actually a satellite data based in the US, right? So this satellite data, we want to look after the ranges it's able to cover in the US, right? So Alloyed ionogram data is basically where does this satellite can able to get lah, right? So we can see the frequency by years, right? So regardless on what do you call them, industry you're in, data is everywhere. Data is is very useful if you can transform into like visualize, or people can look after your Excel sheet. Rather than Excel sheet, they can see this one better, right? Okay. So actually, right, the most crucial step before you get Power BI is to clean your data, right? To prepare your data in Excel, right? So you have to know your data is important. But when you get a lot of, for example, column, right? Some columns are redundant and some rows are duplicate. So you have to remove all of that, because it's going to disturb your accuracy of your data, and also can disturb how do you look the way your data. So if you want to improve accuracy, you have to make a data clean up, right? So one of the function that when I was interviewed with PNB, one of the questions they asked, right? All of people graduate, they know how to do Excel. Why do you want to choose you, right? So, and then you can say lah, I can do a data cleanup, right? So, for example, the features that very useful for data cleanup is VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP, I use this almost all of the time lah, right? So those are the questions that I was asked. And then also in Excel, actually there's a programming behind it. We call it Visual Basic, right? So if you can do programming in Excel, it's a bonus because Excel is not merely to key in data. You also can do a maths, statistic, or formula in Excel. So make sure no error or duplicate data, right? Because if there's error, you cannot fully upload the data to your Power BI lah. And then if there's duplicate data, it might affect your accuracy of your dashboard lah. Okay. Now, when it comes to design, ini perkara yang paling remeh-temeh lah. I think design is very important. The first thing is that where important of the design come is that you have to follow the color code of the company. Okay, some company one of the rookie mistake that I did when I was intern, right? I didn't follow the color code by Petronas, and then I get my supervisor told me to change the dashboard to follow the color code lah. So right after the incident, every single dashboard that I do, I follow the color code, right? The color code of the Petronas, because what I did was that I choose a green that close to Petronas color, but like Petronas have a specific green. It's not like a regular green, right? So they have a numbering code. So you have to follow. Same goes to PNB. While I was doing my, I was work as an executive, right? And as well, right? When you have like multiple data, you don't want to choose a blunt similar color. For example, this is all blue. So it's kind of not ideal to look after, to distinguish who is Evan, David, Anna, and Lisa. If you can see here, you can distinguish clearly better lah on this graph, okay? And also, I'm going to teach you this one later on hands-on. For example, you have a lot of like small, what do you call that? Small percentage. Actually, small percentage, you can remove it because it doesn't really affect your, because you're going to look after the big numbers, by the way, right? For example, if you launch a coffee product, so you launch entire Malaysia, so definitely you want to have like what a top 5 or top 10 customer came from which state or which area lah. Definitely you don't want to look after the small portion, right? So this one is better lah when you sort it out, right? I can give you another analogy. For example, if I do my DNA test, right, I am for example 1% Japanese, for example, right, doesn't make I am Japanese, right? But if I'm like 99% Malaysian and 1% Japanese, 1% doesn't represent me as a Japanese, right? So 99% is the thing that I want to look like, right? 99% Malaysian, for example. So you have to aim for the big number, right? So I'm going to teach you in this part because this is very important later on and so on. Okay. When you are trying to build your dashboard, right? Sometimes you contemplate on how are you going to design, right? Because takkanlah you're going to design the same scheme every time, right? I mean, same template every time. Tak boleh lah, right? Because For example, if your business is based on demographic, you have to utilize a map. If you based on sales, so probably emphasize on the pie chart or bar chart, right? So typically I'll go to this website, Data Story Gallery, Microsoft Fabric Community. So they actually have a lot of sample of dashboard that I can inspire lah, to look after what design that I can implement in my dashboard, so that because design is very important. So what key element, for example, trade in Europe. So you can see how does it the ship move, right? The ship, the plane move. For example, the performance, right? So performance, you don't need map. So you just pull out all the numbers lah. Numbers is very important, all right? So some of them, like for example, cancer analytics, right? So you want to see which state has a high amount of cancer rate. So you can look up the data story gallery, Microsoft Fabric Community. It's very helpful because while I was executive training, while I was doing my job, right? So these are the dashboard that I inspired to look at lah. So another one is Tableau Public, right? Biz of the day. So actually, right, before you graduate in UTM lah, we have to enroll 5 professional courses. So one of the professional courses that really relate to this training is that the Tableau lah. So if you can master Tableau, you can master Power BI because both are the same lah. So some company they use the Tableau, some company they use Power BI lah, because it's depend on the what kind of subscription the company did, right? For example, Microsoft, most likely you're going to use Power BI lah, right? So Biz of the day is, so this website, right? Data Story Gallery and Biz of the day is 2 websites that I heavily look after when I want to try to begin to design a dashboard, right? Because I really don't want to use like the same template dashboard all over the game, right? For example, if you make a portfolio, right? If you notice my dashboard here, right? I have like different design here. So when you present this portfolio to your HR, you already did like some field project, right? The HR can sense that you are a creative person because you make a unique dashboard each of the project that you have done, right? If you do all the same dashboard, right? The HR says like, oh, okay, this guy is great at analytics data, but he don't have the sense of creativity, right? Because creativity, the design, the color pick, the choice of color is very important, right? So this is very useful when it comes to a website, right? Data Story Gallery and Biz of the day. Okay, now when you work as an analyst or work as in a corporate, right? Definitely you have a lot of noise, right? The first thing you will receive a lot of data, right? So while I was intern, I was overwhelmed like what 1,000 numbers of data. So this data, right? You're not sure how on which approach, which are important, which are not important, right? So you have to meet like some key people lah. For example, I'm doing physics, right? So I believe that all of us learn statistics, right? So statistics is very important development when because you're going to look after the mean mode, the basic statistic law, right? And then once you get the sorted the unclean data, you sorted lah. You sorted like which, for example, you identify which the highest value to validate lah, right? And then you arrange it, right? Arrange, for example, on the most left, you wanna you want to do, for example, countries, and then the number of staff, and the staff from which unit, right? And then you present visually. So this present, okay, is what you have arranged from Excel. Okay, you'll explain the story. So once you come with the dashboard, you have to come with the story lah. Okay, when you come with the story in a business term, story is a number. What is the highest percentage? Where's the customer base from? Okay, make it actionable. Okay, so means that you can make your you strategize out of your data lah, right? So that is important. That is why some company, right? I know some friend of mine that work involved. I don't know if you heard about that company. That company is basically entitled about data. They don't they give a consultation on data lah. So in my opinion, data is the new goal. And also if you know about like ChatGPT, right? How do ChatGPT able to give us response? It's actually because of the train data. So they have like close to million data, right? Million data. If you try to look after the recent data on ChatGPT, you couldn't find it because the data is up to 2021. So this is another important step. Now, once you clean data, right, make sure you arrange the format, right? So if you get the format correct, for example, okay, you get on board on company A, and then company A decided to update the app, right? So I want to get the, for example, the number of clicks, right? The number of screen time of user. Bayangkan if you didn't sort it out, the, what do you call that? The columns or what, right? The format. If you want to do another dashboard, you have to rehaul everything, right? So if you format everything right, you have to you actually can delete the data from dashboard and you can load the data. So it's gonna update lah from time to time, right? Okay. So the data that I'm going to present to you is actually CO2 emission by countries year-wise from 90 from 1750 to 2022. So if you notice the data that you have looked is actually have been cleaned by me lah. So if you go to this website, right, there's a lot of unusable, not a lot, I think plenty unusable, what do you call that, parameter. For example, the country code call. What is, I mean, country code call is important in some aspect, but if you want to visualize, it doesn't give any significant value. So in this data, actually, they give a country code call for each country. So I delete the whole column. So because the more clean, the more accurate data later lah. So this is the important why the accuracy of data. So if you want to train, right, if you want to build dashboard or you want to belajar, right, from scratch, you can use data from Kaggle. You have numerous number of data out of Kaggle. You search now, for example, what car is famous car in Indonesia? You can click here, right? So also you can look into the government data, right? Because it's already open right now. Okay, so these are the clean data lah that I have done, right? So actually there's a plenty of column here I already deleted and also some duplicate lah. So clean data is very helpful lah when you organize lah. Supaya you not feel headache when you look after your dashboard. For example, suddenly error pops out and then it shows an error code. So it gives you extra time to look after the code. What's the problem actually, right? And then you have to go to Stack Overflow, ask this, ask that. It wastes your time a lot. So in business, especially in corporate, right? They don't like any people who like utilize too much time in one aspect part. So you have to understand that clean data is very important. So we are going to make from this to this one, right? From scratch. I'm going to give you hands-on on how do we make, for example, sort, for example, the density, the population, right? If you notice, right, here are actually a lot of countries, but I only give like what top 10, right? And also, for example, here you only have the like small tone of color. Dia tidak warna-warni, right? Because tone of color, choice of color is important, right? For example, this one blue and blue. So you can see you're synchronized. Okay, feel free to stop me when I'm conducting hands-on later. So right now, do you guys have any question? Any question from the floor?
So far, we don't have.
All right. So let's go. Hold on here. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. You guys, all of you you may open your Poppy Island. So you'll be greeted with this very first page. So what I want you to do is to open a new report. So you go to new and you press report. All right. So I believe all of you have received your the clean dashboard, right? So you go to import data from Excel. Okay, choose the CO2 emission by country, clean, right? This time will take some time. Okay, you choose table 1. Table 1 only, right? Don't choose this one because this one I already make it for table. And then you press load. Okay, take some time. All right. So once you already loaded your data should be on the right. Okay. So on the right over here lah. So you have percentage of world areas, your emission, countries, density, population, years. Okay. So in case you want to manipulate your data in the middle of doing or that, right? You can look after this one lah. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. This one. Table view. This is essentially same as the Excel if you want to look after your data, right? So typically I don't do another second step on Power BI because I want to standardize every data is clean up beforehand. But in case you want to clean, you can do it here lah. Okay. So now, what I would like to you firstly to do is that to have a specific background. Okay. Now, specific background as in what color is your background. So you go here and you go to canvas background. Okay. All right. So you can choose any color. Like for example, you want to choose blue, and okay, make the transparency, for example, 25%. Okay, so what I typically do is that because during my intern, I I get advice by my SPE lah, to not pick any default color lah, choose more specific color. So what I would like to do is I would follow the color code lah. Okay, so color code for the green I use is 00A19C, all capital letter. So it automatically give you 161 green, 156 blue, 0 red. And we just enter. Okay, now you got screen. Okay. Okay. I would like to make it a 0. Okay. Once you already done this one, the second thing you have to do is your title. So title, where do you want to go is go to your text box, right? So our title, usually the title I would follow either the table of the Excel, or your project lah. For example, our title is global CO2 emissions from fossil fuel. Okay, so this one is small, you can make it a little bit bigger. For example, I'll make it 40. Put this too big, 36, and make it the center. Okay. So you got your first title. So the title, actually, you can change the background lah, like just now. For example, effect. So you can choose, for example, a dark background with white color of title. Okay, I think the white is from here. Okay, so you got your very first canvas lah. Okay, it's an empty canvas. So basically, right, once I already did this, I would like to design my dashboard now. Okay, I would like I get, for example, where do I put my KPI or my chart, right, or my map. So the first thing I would like for you to do is that to get the most important number. Okay, so the two biggest number are the CO2 emission. Okay, so the CO2 emission, you have to get a total. So if you want to get a total, you have to get this card. Okay? So actually, what?
Sorry,
Uh,
Mr. Olis.
uh,
Can I ask you a question? How to make the background? How to import the color, Mr. Olis? Because we are currently doing it, we can't see the colors. Can you show how to get the colors for the background, please?
okay, sure. Okay,
Thank you.
feel free to stop me if I'm going too fast. Okay, for example, right, if you this green, is it this background? Okay, so when you greeted with your first data, right, you don't press anything over here. You just go with this one, format page, right? So build visual, you don't press anything, you don't touch anything over here. So the first page you will do is you go to this one, visualization, format page, right here. And then you go to the canvas background. So you can look after the color over here. So what I would like typically do is that I look after See, you can change the color over here, right? Want to go red? Go red. Okay. Do you guys get it?
Yes.
Okay, nice. So come back to our code. I would like you guys to practice color code lah, because the thing that I noticed, the common thing all the company I went through is that they emphasize on color code lah. For example, doing documentation or your dashboard, right? So color code is very important at this point. How about this one? You guys already get the title?
I have a problem.
Which one? Which one? Which one?
I want to import the data from Excel.
Okay.
However, it cannot be load the
Uh,
data.
what message does it shows? Does it shows like arrow? What arrow?
It appears navigator.
Uh-huh.
However, I cannot click the button load or transform data.
Okay. Can you share your screen? Are you able to share your screen? Wait, hold on, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I share my own screen.
Yep. Everyone else is okay, right? The data? Because if you couldn't load the data, you cannot get the second step lah. All right. Are you sharing your screen?
Yes.
We couldn't see anything. Okay, now you're seeing. Right. All right. You choose table. Navigator, choose table. Yeah. Tick. Okay, press load. Okay, wait for a while. Wait for a while. Okay, wonderful. You get all your data over here. Yeah. So you can go to canvas over there. Build visual, go to the right. Yes, correct. Yes, yes. So first thing, you just you just transparency to 0 lah, so that you can look opaque that color. Okay. So color tak appear kan, because transparency is 100%. You slide it to the most left.
Oh.
Yeah. Down there. Below the image fit, transparency. You slide to the most left.
Sorry, again. Yeah.
Transparency, 100% kan dekat bawah tu. You can slide it to the most left. Because you couldn't see the color right now, right? Boleh tak?
Boleh.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Okay, you can put the title, right? I think my screen is stuck, or because your it's kind of lagging my part lah. Yeah. Okay, so I think I can continue my part lah. Everything is okay, right?
All right, sure. Thank you.
No problem. So feel free to stop me if you guys have any problem. Okay. So back. Oh, I forgot to mention is that last time all the company I work with, right? They usually give their laptop lah to to their what do you call that? To the executive, to the exec, because they don't want any data leakage, number one. And number two, they give a powerful laptop lah. During my time, I was given Intel Core i7 8 Gen with a 16 GB of RAM, because I deal a lot of data every day. Okay, so you get all of this, the title and color. First thing you want to look after is your huge number. Means that your main KPI that you want to look after. KPI is key performance index, right? So you press this one, card. Okay, you get nothing over here. So if you notice, the perfect dashboard that I gave to you is I have two KPI, right? To look after lah, the global emission. So the first thing is the CO2 by how many. Okay, you just drag this data of the CO2 emission. You drag to add data field here and lepas. So you got your first card over here. Boleh tak? Everyone also okay?
Okay, Mr. House.
All right, nice. So once you already get this, you can do another one for the landmass. Okay, press card, and then you press the landmass would be percentage of the world. Okay, this one. Okay, now if you created with this data, right? It's very the design is, you see the decimal place lari, right? So you have to standardize that. So what I usually do is that I look into format my visual, okay, and then after that I remove the category level. So I put my own label in. I go to general, I turn on the type. So the title for this is CO2 emission. Okay, why apa beza dengan category label dengan title? Because if you turn on this, this one will be appears on the bottom lah. I usually put on top lah, okay. And as well, for example here and here, you can see a lot of customization. Ada banyak ke sini. Compare to ke sini. Ni macam it's only limited customization. So I always avoid to use this lah, although the both function are almost the same, right? So you can adjust, you put in the middle and make it a little bit bigger, perhaps 28, right? And then don't forget to put your unit lah, 62 ton watt, right? 62 ton of watt confirmation. So you this one. Oh, sorry, 62 trillion. 62 trillion of watt. So you put CO2 62 trillion tons lah, right? So now 60. So wait. Hold on, let me check the data. So now, how am I going to see the 62 CO2 emission? Okay, so if you see over here, right? This one, the data, the dashboard that we build is actually captured on the filtered data. Okay, when you filter a selected country, it's going to give on that specific amount. So this one, it gives whole total amount, including the unrelated country, right? So we can choose the maximum value lah. If we same goes to okay. So here go to field visual field, and then you choose maximum. Okay. So you get the maximum value is 417 billion. Because later we don't want the data jumbo with each country, because we are going to filter by a different country later. So you put field and you put maximum of CO2. We want to see how many maximum amount of CO2 of each country. Okay. So if you can see over here, right, there are basic statistics of sum, average, minimum, min, max count, standard deviation, variance period. So this I believe all of us have learned in statistics. Okay, so we look up to the max. Okay, now what I would like to design is that okay, I think title a little bit cheap. Okay, so another thing what I would like to design is that to make it more unique lah. I don't want to make it for example, you don't want to make it squarish. You can go to hold on, yeah. You can go to okay, this one, padding. So this padding, for example, if you go to this one, general properties, padding, for example, you put 10. So you can adjust like the gap lah. Okay, so it's like more center, right? And then as well, I would like to do, for example, the shadow. Okay, so you can give like a 3D effect. So shadow, and then a visual border. The visual border I put rounded around 15 pixel. Okay, so you get like this. And then the thing I would like to do is that to put another white is too striking color in my opinion, because you want to look the mean number. Okay, so you go to okay, effect. So you put the transparency around in the middle. Okay, if you put too much, I couldn't see the background. If you put too less, you can see striking background. If you put middle, you can see your, yeah, I put 35. Okay, you can see your number more striking, the background supaya tidak mengganggu lah. I mean, everything is highlight color. It's very irritate lah if you want to look. Okay, so now I don't want to waste my time to design this all over again. Okay, I don't want to go like build visual here, get category label, all this, right? So macam mana I nak standardize? I done that. All I have to do is I press this, I go to format, enter this one, then you press this one. So automatically lah, dia akan masuk. You don't have a title because we haven't put anything lah, but basically all the thing that you design here, it will be automatically go here lah. Last time it doesn't have this feature, you know. So we have each design we have to do from scratch. So right after this thing came out, right? So it menyenangkan kerja lah, increase our remove all the delays lah to design, because our main part is our data lah. Design is bonus lah if you can make it good, right? So this one is the landmass. How does the landmass the number of landmass covered in the world? Okay, landmass of world. Okay, this is percentage. Okay, so basically the landmass is that a number of tanah lah. So occupied on that state. But this one is represent the, what do you call that? The individual number, okay? So for example, we have like 70% of water. Okay. So this one, kita nak ambil max juga. Okay. We go here, sorry, you go build visual. This one, you press this one, build visual, you press max because you want to find the maximum of the mass, okay? So now you have a very weird percentage over here. 0.11 is not 11%. So you have to adjust the rounding, okay? So over here you can go okay, this one, display unit. Auto, it will give you 0.11, so you can put 1000, okay? Yeah, oops, sorry. This one, sorry. Wait, hold on. It's supposed to be 11%. Hold on, yeah. Okay. Now, I think it's this one. Okay, this one we put aside first. Later we adjust. Okay. So now, we want to build a chart, right? So what chart is good for density of the country? So you go with the cluster bar chart. Okay. You adjust. Okay, you adjust. You move here. Okay. So when you do a bar chart, you have to identify which one is y-axis and x-axis lah. Okay. Hold on, yeah. So for this one, density of the country, the y-axis is the country. So you press this one, you target this y-axis, right? Then you go to the country. Okay. For the x-axis is the sum of the field. Okay. So the sum of sum of density. Sorry, sum of density. This one. So you get your first data over here. Okay. Sorry, first bar chart. So this bar chart is quite dull. So this is the basic that you got, right? So you can design up to your creativity, okay? So typically, what do I do is that I want to make sure, like for example, the unit is okay, and then the title is okay, the value is okay, then we go to design, okay, format visual. So this table is very small, right? I don't want things that are taking space. I know label is very important, but for example, if you see like Singapore, Hong Kong, Bahrain, Maldives, automatically your brain thinks it's a country, so you can remove that, okay? But for example, if you want to give like economic jargon to a non-economic person looking at economic data, of course you have to don't leave the label part because that's the most important part. So for this part, country boleh padam lah, okay? sorry, X exists. Sorry, Y exists. Okay, Y exists, the title. Okay, country already moved. Because Singapore, Hong Kong, Bahrain, Maldives, you already know it's a country. For example, I can give you example, right? If I'm analyzing data sales of polyethylene compound or any polymer or ceramic, right? So people who are not well versed in chemical or chemistry, they wouldn't understand this science magical word. So you have to pull up, but for this one, geography, right? The strict point, okay? And then and also because your titles saying that you are telling the density, right? Density by km, you also can remove the value, oh sorry, the y-axis title, okay? Because you know this represented the density, right? Because of your title. Okay, now the title you want to put as density by country. By country. So you need letak lah sebab kita tak ada letak unit dekat y or x axis. So people didn't understand about this. So you put unit lah. If you leave this alone, right? Sorry. If you leave this, if you leave the unit, right? People going to question lah. Are you count like the density 1, 2, 3, or is it per unit, right? So it can give you extra step lah here. And then another one that I would like to do is that to do a padding, right? So for example, back. This one, okay. So padding, for example, this one is like 2 top, so I just put like a space like that. Lagi kemas, right? So you can give jarak lah, you can see jarak over there. Okay. And then standardize all the characters, letak dekat tengah. And then, kalau perasan, the labels are not striking, but the background is striking. Same thing. All you have to do is go to your properties, general, okay, visual, okay, your y-axis, we put a striking color, for example, the black, okay. So the black, and then a dark black, not a gray black. And then same goes to the x-axis, okay. X-axis value, instead of gray, we change to black. Okay, now the white one, we have to make it a little bit faded because it doesn't mix, it looks your data tak kemas lah. You have to standardize this and that, right? So actually, you can copy lah here to here, but I don't recommend unless it's the same. For example, this label and this label are the same thing, right? So you can copy and paste. But this one, if you want to copy, you copy another table, another bar chart lah. Okay, let's finish with this one first. We go with the drag that. This one I usually put like 25, right? So you get this one. All right. Sorry. So another one I would like to do is the curve and the shadow. Okay. Go to effect, the shadow, and then visualize border. So I put like 15 like that. So it looks much better instead of blue, because blue is like I make it much more darker blue lah. So I press this one, x-axis, a bar, make it more striking blue lah. This is much better compared to the first thing that we lah. Okay, now kalau di sini people have to hover, you know, like this one. We have to manually tengok. Tapi for example, if you present within a whole stakeholder where you have to interact, they couldn't interact. So how do they want to like give approximation, right? So what I would like to do is I turn on this one lah. Data label. If you turn on this one, it strictly give you label. So for example, if you see a lot of stakeholder, right, only one person in charge and looking after your data, right? I mean to hover to navigate. So you as attendees, right? To attend, right? You couldn't look after like the range, right? So data label I turn on lah. Okay. So data label is very useful lah. Okay. And then what do I do is that the background. Anyway, sorry. Right after the label, I make like a dot lah. For example, this one 1 million cross, 2 million cross, right? So the dot will be grid line, okay? So grid line. Okay, yeah, correct. So why you couldn't see, because this color is almost similar, so I just put similar to the label, like. So it is much better. Kalau ni nipis sangat, you can make wider to like this, right? So this is much better in terms of give approximation value, okay? Dekat mana you punya bar located, okay? If you couldn't navigate this manually. So another bar chart that we have to make is the population, okay? So for this one, you press this one, okay, clustered bar chart. For this one, right? So you want to make this standard like this, okay? All right. So you don't want to, okay? We put all the X and Y, right? So the country is Y-axis, and then sum of population, okay? So you get all of this, okay? So you can see Singapore is much more dense than China lah, although by population wise, China is higher lah. Okay. Now you don't want to design this from scratch. All you have to do is press this one, press forward filter, and vertically get it done. Okay. So this is very useful because it helps you to navigate your helps you to standardize your format lah. For example, kalau you already design this, you want to apply for this, also boleh, no problem. Tapi I do not recommend, because this one you only edited a small portion of visual tools, right? If this you already added a lot of stuff, so you copy here, you paste here, you can sort a lot of stuff, right? If you're here, you make like half-baked stuff, so better you complete everything and you copy and paste here. Okay. Now, we make a map lah. Okay. So you wanna copy. You wanna copy
Sorry,
a map.
sir.
Yep.
Can I interrupt for a while? May I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how you duplicate the data from the first one to second one?
From here to here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can you show your screen? We do this again. You may show your screen.
Yeah. This one.
Hold on. It's still loading my side. Okay, nice. Okay, I see you did a lot of stuff over here. Okay, now you press the density by country. Density by
Density,
country.
okay.
You
Uh-huh.
you press the, what do you call it? The bar lah, not everything. Okay. On top left, ada section home, right? And then below home is
Uh-huh.
format painter. You press the format painter.
Okay.
Okay, once you press the format painter,
Format enter.
oh,
Oh,
format
format
painter.
painter. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
format painter. Okay, you press format
Okay.
painter. You straightly press it to sum of population 2022.
Oh, okay, nice.
Okay, so
That's
you
it.
don't have, so your time heavily saved, you know, instead of you do from scratch. Back then, they don't have this function. So
Mhm.
all you have to do is to design from scratch every single card or every single graph. So this time is very no, this update is very help me to design. Okay, so solve already, right?
Thank you, sir.
All right, no problem. Okay, I'll show my screen. So feel free to interrupt me in the middle so that I know what's your problem, and we're going to go through the problem. Okay. So some of the okay. So we're going to make another chart. So we're going to make hold on, yeah. We're going to make donut chart. Okay. You press over here, visualization, press donut chart. Okay. Donut chart, you like this lah, okay, so that it looks more symmetric. Okay, you have for the chart, you put what's the axis lah, okay. For example, the axis is sorry, for your legend. So legend is basically what are you going to label, okay. So here our legend is country. So you have all the labels here, okay. And then what are your data represented, right? You put CO2 emission. Okay, now this is what I talked in my previous slide. Okay, you have a lot of redundant data. For example, if you want to strategize your business, okay, or strategize your marketing. For example, kan, I was deputy director of Associations of Malaysian Economics undergraduate. When we want to host our ticket for our event, we look after, like in Instagram, there has one function. Okay, what is the most active user on one time at one time? So we post our event ticket or at that time so that people more engagement rather than like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. So typically engaging time is 7 p.m. 8 p.m. for average age for example, like this, right? If you know the number, right? So this doesn't make you represent how you want to decide your data, right? For example, you want to see the global emission, so you want to see who's the biggest culprit. You don't want to look after the small mice, right? You want to look after the big lion. So the first thing I would like to do is to go here, okay, filter. and then countries, and then you put here top 10. You want to put top 5, top 10, top 15. It's okay. Okay. So value is CO2 emission by filter, and then you get this one. So you can see what's the relation of, for example, you want to build a nuclear reactor or a new carbon project, a carbon capture project, right? Where is the best demographic place, right? You can see the relation between the population, countries. For example, okay, you work as a consultant company to build carbon capture, okay? You want to look after high density, perhaps, or you want to look after huge population so that you can hire people at that populated area, or you can hire people based on how many population on that area. For example, I see like US, right? US has the great potential candidates untuk be a carbon capture device, for example, right? The United States is the first one to emit a lot of carbons, and then they have a lot of people. They are the third highest populated per people on Earth. So it's a great candidate for us to build a reactor, okay, or carbon capture devices, okay. So if you are a businessman, okay, you definitely goes with the highest number like this, okay. For example, if you want to look at the investment, definitely you want to go with the highest bid, okay. And also the data is very important, lah. For example, the relation on this data, okay. Now, once you already get this data, okay, you already sorted out all this data, so you can look after to kemas lah everything here, because this is our what do you call it? Because this is card, this is chart, okay. This is bar chart, this is donut chart, okay. These are heavily related to each other, okay. So for this, you press format pattern, okay. You press this one, so automatically that way. So it saves a lot of time. So I highly recommend that once you design one thing, you don't need to do 1, 2, 3, right? I used to make 1, 2, 3 individually because last time they don't have this function, okay? So once they have it, it really helps a lot of time, okay? So, but you have to aware that make sure it's the same category. Like for example, kalau nak buat map, for example, build map, you boleh buat dekat map, ataupun kalau nak buat dekat what do you call it, chart, you can do like another chart, stack chart or what chart. Tapi kalau you nak buat card and chart, I don't recommend lah. Ataupun kalau you nak buat, for example, from map to card, I don't really recommend. So you have to identify what type of chart and then whether you can apply format pattern or not lah. Okay. Now, so we want to design, and we want to look after, for example, specific country. For example, Malaysia here, right? I have to scroll banyak-banyak ke sini kan. So how do I want to save time? Okay. But yeah, I do not navigate manually on all of this long. Even Malaysia doesn't appear here, okay? So here doesn't represent Malaysia. So we are going to use slicer. Okay, here, slicer. You press here, okay? We got this one. So what are the data that going to occupy the slicer? We put country. Okay, so we can see this one, okay? So Malaysia will be this one. Press this one. Okay, Malaysia have density of 28K, and then 103 billion of carbon emission, and 9.2 billion, and then it's total of 6 billion maximum. Okay, so the sum by each year is 103 the maximum is 6 billion. So instead of going navigating manually, you can see over here lah, okay? So the mass is really significant lah, because Malaysia is like very small country, okay? So for example, if you want to, kalau macam ni, right, it doesn't, it's not really neat lah. So you can go here, sorry. Okay, slice the setting. Okay, you can just drop down. I always just drop down. You can just tile yang macam button lah. So kalau you have small option, tile is good lah. But if you have limited button, you can just drop down. So here is much better. For example, if you use this one, right, vertical list. Kalau nak slide susah, tapi kalau you nak design panjang, no problem at all. It's up to your creativity, okay? Tapi I want to save space because I want to put a huge map over here later. So I'm going to put tile. I'm going to put drop down. Okay, now. So can I apply format painter here? Yeah, definitely, because this one and this one, their element is almost identical. Okay, you press your 2 animation done, you press format painter. Oh, sorry. Press painter, format painter. Yeah, okay. It's already applied by itself. Okay. All right. Oh, I forgot to highlight this thing darker, because like it's like very dull. So same goes to I think here is fine. Okay. Dull, it's not a really good sign lah. So to highlight the detail label, this one is another great thing lah. Kalau sesat sangat keluar, you can set prefer inside, right? Kalau sesat sangat inside, you can put prefer outside. Some outside, some inside, okay? You can put it all inside. Either I put all outside lah. Okay. So the value I put, so it's much more prevail. Okay, Imran, do you have any question?
Sorry, sir. How to change it to drop down?
Change one. Oh, drop down. Okay. Do you mind to share your screen?
Wait.
All right. Now you get all these tiles, right? It doesn't really need lah. Okay, you press the country. Okay. Okay, once you press the countries, you go with the slicer setting on your right. Format visual slicer setting. Okay. So option, ada tak option? Okay.
Option.
Single select ada, single select. Press
Single
single
select.
select. Does it show drop down? Show select all tak ada.
Tak jumpa.
Wait, hold on, yeah. Visual, correct. Visuals, accessibility. Okay, for selection. How about you press for selection? Okay. Doesn't give, okay. Slicer setting. Okay. Visual, under visual, right? Slicer
Yes.
setting. Pergi bawah lagi ada tak? Pergi bawah. Okay, style, itu style. Layout. Style, arrangement, ada grid kan. Coba table, okay. To bawah. Tadi.
Start.
Yep, after table. Try the table. Does it change?
Like this.
Oh, okay. Down.
I think he used the new slicer one because slicer got two, old one and new one.
Oh, yes.
Is it the old one?
Which slicer are you using just now?
The new one.
Okay, you have to change the slicer. Okay. So the cut build visual. Okay. So you have beside no up no up.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. Press.
This one.
Yep, yeah, press. Okay, now better. Okay. Pergi dekat format country tadi dekat country format visual. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. You change style. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, drop down. Okay, nice. So there you can get your data lah. Okay. I can
Alright.
change from Afghanistan to Malaysia lah. Alright. Selection you buang lah for selection tu.
Excuse me, Mr. Francis. Sorry to
Yes.
interrupt, but I just want to remind you we'll be having our short break in about 15 minutes at 3:30 p.m.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Alright. Okay, so far so good.
Yeah, alright. Thank you, sir.
Alright, no problem. So I'm going to share on screen. So you get all of this, okay? Now, once you already get all of this, you want to sort by a very specific timeline, okay? Okay, another function that I would like to remind you is that do not confuse with this slicer and this slicer, okay? This is the new update lah, like what Imran have did just now, right? This one. And this is new card, okay? I used this card just now, not this card. And also I use this slicer, not this slicer. Actually, in Power BI, right, you have a lot and you can import like from outside. I've seen a lot of my friends that have created a lot of really creative lah. Yeah, but typically we don't do a lot of creativity here because we want to deliver more values in delivering our data. Okay, not because we are not designer, we are data analysts. Okay, so design is not our priorities lah, but it's important. So don't confuse with don't confuse with this slicer and this slicer lah. Okay, you might have very limited choice. I usually use the default one. I know it's a little bit old, but a lot of things. Okay. The next part we have to go to country. Okay. You press here. Go a little bit here. Okay. Okay. Now you press country. Okay. Sorry. You press here. Sorry. So if here, I don't want to look after like this, okay? Because here is like too much to scroll, okay? You have to scroll manually, because manually if you scroll, it's kind of like it gets a lot of your, what do you call it? So your space lah, and also very tight here because we are going to put map here, okay? So now we go to slicer setting. So because, okay, one thing I really like about Power BI, they have automatically, they can detect whether it's a number or a name lah. So once you get number and name, right, you can do like between So you can put like, for example, I want a year from 1987. So it changes lah. Okay. So you can put like this or this. Okay. So wait, hold on, yeah. I want check. Okay. Now, hold on. Doesn't shows. Okay. So what I would like to do is between. Okay. But this between, I don't want to manually type. I want to like scroll. Okay. So if you want to scroll, it hold on. Yeah. Let me check. Hold on, yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's actually wait here, here. Drop down. I put between. It doesn't show. Hold on, yeah. Clear selection. Oh yeah, slider. Okay, now why I want to emphasize on slider because for example here, right? Here you don't really want to make it manually move lah. Sebab kalau you want to make it manually move, it's very tedious process, okay? Very tedious process, and it doesn't really intuitive lah, the design, okay? So what do I do is that I turn on the slicer lah. So slicer, you can get better design lah, okay? So you go all the way back, okay? You can see back then, UK was the top, okay? You can see like before Industrial Revolution begins, right? You can see like UK during the World War One, right? UK, German, France, Poland, Belgium, US, Australia. So this function is very what do you call that? It's very intuitive, like intuitive design. Because kalau here, kalau ada slicer, it makes you very easy to navigate lah. Here. So we put it over here. Okay. So standardize. Okay. So you know what to do. So because this one and this one is the same card, you press this one, okay? You press the top of this one, then you press forward painter, and then you press here. Okay, you got everything. So you see, not everything is standardized, okay? The word here is very small. So we want to change that. We sorry, the title. So title, yeah. Nothing. I prefer title over header lah, because header, here you can look after much more stuff compared to to this one. Okay. All right. Right. You see, you can put like more huge one lah. Okay. Maybe this one. Okay, this one I can see much more lah. Okay. And then I would like to highlight the numbering over here. Okay, you can choose effect. Sorry, effect, sorry. Okay, value. The value is already dark. Yes. Okay, you can make standardize lah. Dark. Okay, make it dark. As a header, no need. It's the same thing only. Title have already done. Put it black. Okay, order constantly. Right now, because you have already changed this title, right? Because this one, if you notice, if you go here, country, you can see that is still into slicer header, right? I don't want to turn off this. Go this one. You see this one, and then do this one, right? All you have to do is go this, that. Here. So you may only put this one as country. All right, now you can get better. For example, okay. For example, you have a stakeholder meeting on to analyze the fossil fuel and then to build a carbon capture device, right? So you want to see like the top list of the candidates where which place is suitable to look after and which place has the greatest amount of carbon emission and why you want to use this and what's the relation of population. Okay, for example, if I would like to present this fossil fuel dashboard, right? I would say that would analyze by 3 country. Okay, the top three country. Okay, for example, China. Why China might be the suitable place? Because China, they have the total of 5 trillion. Oh, forgot to change this one. Okay, 5 trillion CO2 emission tons by country. Okay, so this one you have to change this one. Okay? So, yeah, so if you copy paste from this one here, you tend to forget to change title lah. Okay, so put all right, and then don't forget to make it and then same goes to the country. Okay, this country because it's a little bit faded over here. So legend, you make it okay, much better, right? Now, so this legend can put like top left, sorry, yeah, top left, center left. You can adjust lah, according which one is better. Okay, so you can choose center right, left. For example, if you get like this, right? It's too right here. How do you want to move this one slightly to the left? So again, you go to general, then you go to space area. effect. It's called padding. Text. Hold on, yeah. Oh yeah, you can change this one as well. You can change the radius. Usually I put 75 or 80 lah, right? 75 or 80. So if you want map put all like to the side, right? It's called padding. Okay, this one. I want to put padding, so then okay. For example, lagi tepi, want to put 20. It become more betul ke tengah, right? It doesn't move too much to the left, too much to the right. So you can adjust. Okay. So I think it's break time, is it?
Yes, it is, Mr. Francis.
Okay. So I think we have a break for a while.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Francis. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a short 15-minute break. So take this time to stretch your legs, grab refreshment, and we'll see you back here in just quarter of an hour. So enjoy your break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you had a refreshing break and excited to delve right back into our second session of this exciting day. Sorry, technical issues.
All right.
All right, leading this session is once again our exceptional Mr. Hollis Francis, and he will be guiding us through the powerful world of Power BI. So without further ado, let's delve into this transformative potential of Power BI. Mr. Francis, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's begin where do we left. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let's recap. Everyone can see my screen, right? Okay. Now, remember that I share all of you that the data, right? This data. Actually, I have already cleaned this data. So let's recap before we get to the next part. Okay. So I want to show you the original data. So this is the sorry. CO2 countries. So this is kind of the data that I get, right? So actually you have a lot. Hold on. Okay. Let's recap. Okay. This is the data that I get in your Excel, but this data is raw data set, right? So what do I mean by raw is that this is the one mentioned, two-letter code, simulated code, right? So, for example, AF, it might not be useful because it's very redundant. This could represent code of country, so I just removed it because some country I didn't recognize by looking at the code. So I just use the country because, for example, Maldives, right? So Maldives, ML or Malaysia, MY. Some nation they don't understand what is MY, so you just put Malaysia lah. And then, sorry, another thing is the calling code. So calling code is not imported in the fossil fuel. Okay, we just remove this, and then you can see a lot here. Actually, there's some duplicate now data that need to be cleaned and need to be sorted out, right? So here you can download straight like the raw data and you have to clean manually everything. So this is what I clean. So I create a table, and then if you notice, if you open the data set, right, each of the label has their own category. For example, this one, tax. This one, okay, I put general because for some reason, if I it doesn't recognize here. If I put tax, it recognizes like money, so we just put real. And this one's same. So this one percentage, right? This one number. Okay. So just now when we get into here, okay, why does it show 0.11? Because I get used to clean data here, right? Percentage. I forgot. I think it's a good practice lot to double check all your data, right? So here, when I loaded my data, even though here it shows percentage, right? And also the decimal has been recorrected, but it doesn't reflect to this part. It shows that uncharacterized decimal too. That's why it shows 0.11. I was confused. How does it appear 0.1? Supposedly it appear 11% straight away, right? So this kind of problem stop my progress because I'm thinking how to solve my problem. Right? So the best practice is before you get into visualize data, you have to get your data clean and make sure your data is correct and accurate. So how do we fix this? Go to table view, and then this one you put as percentage, right? All right, so when you go here, you can see straight away change 11%. So if you go here, the max, the largest is 11%. Okay, it matches, but for some reason, it doesn't really reflect from Excel. So sometimes you have to play around. For example, years, right? If I put number, it doesn't reflect numbers on Power BI. It detects as money. That's why I put this as general. So, but percentage, right? Sample percentage, I put it percentage so that I want it to detect straight percentage, right? I don't want it to make things at something else. So, for example, density number. So, for this one, I translate it as general so that it can read all this incorrect value lah. So, for example, here I tried here in number, it reflects money, so I just leave as it is lah. I don't want to change, right? And also the Russia tax lah, so don't put, okay. Sorry, country. And then, so you have your 11% over here, okay. So you see like 11.00, you want to round it off, yeah, you can. The nearest zero. Get 11%. All right. So another thing that I think you have to practice is that once you use format painter, I know it's very convenient. One thing I really missed out is that to change this one, right? Population. So you see it's sum of population. It's not the actual title that I want to put. So population. Okay, 2022. Why I mentioned it's 2022 because I don't want it like to plus like from recent years, so pick one number 2022, and also this data is the reason is 2022 lah. Okay. All right, let's go into our okay now. Hopefully that you guys learn a lot from the first session. So the first thing is that to really cross-check your data so that we don't have any confusion. For example, I got confused just now. I said, hey, how come suddenly 0.11% show instead of 11%? I was like, oh, okay, how do you? Actually, another alternative is that you can put another equation. For example, here you can you have to count, like quick measure. And once you put this one is extra. If you put quick measure, right, you can put for example equation to measure lah. So that one is extra step. If you want to make sure your task easier, so instead of put a straight quick measure, you put here lah, you clear from here. Okay, make sure everything is okay. For example, here you put this text. See this one, whole number, number. So you see the highest is 11, right? Density whole number, right? So you get everything here sorted first. So your first your second step from cleaning data is to double check from table view. Okay, so to make sure all of the data are synchronized lah. Okay. So if you want to put 2 digits, 2 decimal places, okay. Right. And then make sure it's work. For example, Algeria. Okay, the percent. Right. For example, I'll take The highest one I think should be Russia. So ABC, FG, okay, Russia. So 11, right? Romania, 0. 0 is like very significant. Union. Blank means that it doesn't occupy anything. It can be 0 or it can be nothing, right? Asia, 0. Wait, let me check. If 1% should be Saudi Arabia. Okay, we check Saudi Arabia. It's all right. Yeah, it does show. Okay. This step is like to make sure that you are your data really tally lah. 6% I think China. All right, 6%. Okay. So this is one to make sure that how your data really, get into this presentation, right? Okay, now, for example, if you want to change this unit, okay, to much, it's like billion, right? So you can also do, for example, here general. Hold on. General. Inclusion. Hold on, yeah. Okay, value. It should be value. Okay, this one. I usually leave it as in auto, but you can, change to if it's too huge, trillion and billion just now, million, right? 1,000. So just leave it as auto lah, right? But this one, when I wanted to change this now, it doesn't give like this one. It doesn't reflect here lah because I didn't label here as presentations now. I label as it automatically label as decimal number. That's why I think it's a great practice lah to get into that over here, right? So when all of this you get, so let's go into the map. Okay, so for the map you can choose regular map lah, this one. Okay, this one. Right. So for the map you want to get what do you want to represent in a map? Okay, so one thing I like about Power BI is that it straight recognize what country if you label it correctly lah. And also if you want to check your data, right? For example, if I use the original data, the raw data, use like Algeria, AL, Malaysia, MY, China, CH, it prevents me to get this function to work, That's why I remove all the redundancy, right? For example, that part lah, okay? So I don't want to use that. I just delete all the column, okay? So you put your you press this, okay? Location. Make sure it shows location over here, right? Okay. You drag country over here. So it shows you the map, right? The map of your country located. All the dots is the list of the map that you presented in the data, right? But you notice the map represent nothing. It doesn't represent any number, okay? So it doesn't change. So I want to make the map change the circle represent the data lah. Okay, so I want to change the data. You press here, you go down until you see bubble size. Okay, bubble size. So this bubble size, you put CO2 emission lah. Now you can see which one has the use lah. Okay, you can see, for example, if I don't have this data, right? No, sorry. If I don't have this map, I couldn't see the concentrated fossil fuel emission. I can see of Singapore, banyak di city, and then China, banyak population, global emission, US, ada banyak. Tapi I want to see where's the concentrated CO2 emission. Kalau macam ni, we can see Europe very concentrated, right? So you can present to your, for example, stakeholder to show that area in Europe is very concentrated on CO2 emission. So it's a great place lah to build, because to build, for example, any device that to reduce emission, or to implement a policy to reduce emission, or to build a carbon capture device, right? So Europe is a great strategic place because you can see concentrated. But if you, for example, if you build around Africa, it's scattered around, you know. But Europe, it's concentrated in one place. So it's map, what do you call it? Map graph, is it? Map visualization, okay? Map visualization bubble is very helpful, okay? Very helpful in the sense of to see like concentrated, right? So which has like a huge bubble, okay? For example, like Russia have it has a lot of big land mass, okay? But it admit like quite low lower compared to the US, although US has less mass. So mass land mass doesn't strictly relate on how does your global carbon emission emit lah. So you can see that America emit more carbon emission compared to Russia. For example, Europe the prime example. Europe is quite small. It's very concentrated, and it has a lot of more CO2 emission compared to Russia. Okay. All right. When you have this, right, you actually get customized on how does your map really look like. Okay. So, for example, I want to see aerial. Okay. Much better, right? So aerial is like it match with color scheme of our dashboard. For example, the ocean, blue, right, blue, and then green land. So green canvas, okay. But if you want to change to, for example, dark, okay, it's quite okay as well. So light, grayscale, and road. So there's a lot of option over here. I think in aerial, it looks better here. Okay. So now, you can see the bubble, right? You actually can change this, for example, here, magnitude, data range. Okay, we put it auto. We can change the relative cycle. For example, here. So it's much more prevalent, okay? Scaling to the factor of, for example, right? You can see which one is much more pronounced in their CO2 global emission lah. Kalau kita letak auto macam negative 10, it looks relatively small to each respective country lah. So to make it much more presentable in the sense of both size, I put the lah, right? So it gets more obvious lah to see which country has the most global CO2 emission lah, right? Then you can change the color, right? So I just leave as it is because it's kind of match. But if you want to change, yeah, okay. But for example, if you change this one dark and dark, it doesn't really see we couldn't distinguish, right? So you want to pick like a lighter color, like a light blue, yeah, acceptable. For example, light purple, acceptable, but not like what pink or purple still okay. Yellow, yeah, it's still okay, but not pink lah. So this label to indicate is very much important because we know what are you trying to tell, because I know that it's very stereotype. Red is represent bad or blue is good, but I think it's a good indicator like if you want to put as a graphic, if you want to design a chart completed, for example, a progress chart, completed chart, you can label as green, uncompleted, not complete, you put this red lah. Okay, so you want to remove this above text. I don't actually on map, right? You don't really have to label because you can see it's very obvious that it's a map and it's above, right? So you want to remove the title. Okay, so and then the background you can remove. Okay, you put a little bit of shadow. Why I would like to put shadow? Because for example, if you see here, right, all here is shadow and suddenly here is not shadow. You can see shadow is like much more 3D look, like give it 3D look. Okay, and you have to get into to standardize. If one of the card have shadow, you put all the shadow, right? So shadow, so it makes more neat lah. Okay, you can see. And then because this one have like rounded what do you call it, corner, you make it standardized lah. Okay, so visuals, okay, you put rounded or 10 like that, right? So you can see it's more rounded lah. Okay, match with all of this. Okay, so you see it's like your data is very it's good enough to as a decision making, as to be to get into, you know, to strategize or to get your what do you call it, your stakeholder to understand on global CO2 emission. Okay, and that's all right. For example, you already created everything right, and suddenly your boss said, okay, kenapa ada banyak bar chart? Can we change the bar chart to something else? No problem at all. For example, if you want to change density, this is bar chart in horizontal way, you can put in vertical. Sorry. All right, you put in vertical. Okay, you can see vertical doesn't look really nice lah to me, right? So actually, you can press anything as long as it's chart. Around here, here, right? Because you already preset or predetermined on your data, right? For example, here, I already get this one and filter it, everything, right? So I can straightly change, for example, tree map. So by 3 map, I can see the highest is US, second highest is UK lah. So I can get back to here, no problem. Okay, now, so if you want to present, for example, on a year here, okay, and then change Indonesia lah, right? So you can see it's straightly given to here. We can see the density is 7.8 thousand km squared, and then 15 billion of people country, and then you see 270 billion of CO2 emission, 1% of land mass, with 14 total tons, right? See, it's very great to have like a slicer lah. Okay? So you can see like progression, right? So it's to make the data interactive is actually great, you know, because people can look after like a very specific, very specific manners lah, in look after which what do you call that? Part they want to look after. Okay, Afghanistan. They don't give anything. Canada. So you can see. All right. So, who want to share the dashboard? Can I have a look? I want to look after like the end product from the participant. I want to see your understanding in creating a dashboard. Who want to share their data? I mean, their dashboard.
Sir,
Yep.
I can share, but there's one thing I haven't done yet.
Okay, sure, no problem. All right.
The title card, sir. Not sure.
Okay, you actually have a great have a great one. Okay. A red one, I don't really recommend. You can change to blue, and you don't have title. You know how to make title?
The title, I'm not sure, yeah. I missed it in the beginning.
Okay, it's okay. So, to actually, you have several ways to make title, but the most neatest way is that okay, at home, top there, you can see text box.
Text box, yes.
Yeah, you press text box. Okay, now you put your title lah. Yeah, you stretch until from one end to one end. Okay. Yeah, and then you put on the top. Yes, correct. Okay. You put global CO2. Yeah, put it top. Yes, correct. Global CO2 emission from fossil fuels. Okay, yes, you can put it in the middle. Okay, you can change the font a little bit big. Okay, now how do we change the color of the background? So once you get this text box, you press the text box and then you go to the right side. You can see effect. The right side effect. Yes. From code white, you change to dark. Okay, darker color. Okay, yes. And then you can see your so it's dark, right? You press the Your title again. You press your title.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah. And then look after the right of the, yes, correct. Change it to white. Highlight it. Yep. Okay, now you have your own, you have your dashboard lah, completed.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's good enough lah. So actually it's a great, for example, if you have a free time, you can go to Kaggle. Kaggle have numerous of data, or data government, you have a numerous of data, you can make dashboard out of it lah. You can practice, and then usually HR, they love to see what project you do in your undergraduate time, right? So any problem so far?
I think so far it's okay.
Okay, nice. So anyone else want to share their dashboard? Anyone else have another problem? Just want to make sure everyone is on track. Or you want to share your screen to share your dashboard, or you want to, or you have any question or your problem?
I have a problem.
Okay,
Just problem.
what is it? You can share your screen.
Allow me to share screen.
All right.
For this data,
Wait, hold on.
I
My screen is loading. Oh, wait, hold on. It's dark on my side. I think you can share again.
all right.
Wait, hold on, it's loading. Wait, it doesn't appear anything. Others can see Mekat's screen, is it? Or is it on my side?
It's still loading.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
black.
yes. Yeah, same.
I think UTM Wi-Fi lah.
Everything's loading. Or instead of sharing the whole screen, you can share a specific application for that. Might be more optimized lah. You can try that way.
All right. So one.
Wait. Things loading.
So can I share mine?
Yeah, I think it's loading.
Yeah, maybe you can go for him first.
Okay. You can change your spot in the meantime. Yeah, you can share yours. when we need to use, wait, hold on, yeah. Okay, what's wrong? Oh, you don't have any map. Okay, what it says there? Map file visual. Okay, this one is actually wait, your problem is because of the map, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, I need to go to setting.
Yeah. Have you tried to go to the setting? Because you have to enable some computer that um what do you call that? That have pre-installed, they need to update manually, you know? Okay. Go to setting, option setting, and global security. You can try.
Wait, Doctor. I think I shared the wrong screen.
Oh, okay. When we need to use area data, what do you mean by area data? Rafik, can you clarify your question? Data in the table. Which table? Oh, okay. Now you got it. Oh, okay. Okay, now I have
Yes, this one.
one particular problem for this one. You see, the sum of CO2 emission tons by country, very packed. Uh, um, it's very, it's very crowded. Yeah. Okay, what's your question? Do you have any problem?
This one.
Which one?
This one. I think must be smaller.
Yes, okay. Now, for example, if you want to specify, for example, top 3, top 5, top 10, I really recommend, because once you look after this data, like, it's very crowded. I want to look like what? Like various, okay? So now you press sum of CO2, okay? Sum of CO2 emission ton per country.
This one, okay.
You press filter.
Filter.
Beside visualization, there's a filter.
This one?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, now, once you got that filter, okay, you go to, hold on, yeah. You go to, okay, country. You press country, top there, country.
This one?
Yes, expand it. Okay, now, filter type, top N.
Top N, okay.
Yes. So you can edit lah. You want a top 10 or top 15 country, right? Okay.
Top
You
10.
put top 10. So
Okay.
now you tell the Power BI set top 10. Top 10 of what? So you tarik lah the data from top 10 of CO2 emission, right?
CO2 emission.
From the right, the table.
This one?
Yeah. You tarik and then you
Tarik. Oh.
yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Right. You press apply. You try.
Apply filter.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay, now you got it. Right? So this is much more presentable, okay, compared to earlier lah. Okay.
Okay. So
Any more question?
I think no.
Okay. Yeah, I think looks great lah. And also, your country, I think you can change to drop down lah. Yeah.
This one? Change to drop down?
The country.
Country.
No. On the left side. CO2 emission tons. Down there,
This
there's
one?
a country. I didn't see your part.
Sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
So what's next? So go to
On the left side, right, there's Afghanistan and Albania. So you can change that to drop down. Right?
oh
Yes, that one.
this one
Yes.
change to
You
drop
press.
down.
Yeah. Okay. You
General,
go to yes, correct. So you go to
general
general.
effect.
Okay. Yes.
Can
Can you find it? Okay, slice option.
visual.
A visual, a slicer setting. Yeah, slicer option, drop down. Okay. Now you can much more better lah to look after rather than scrolling right all the time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank
No
you.
problem. Okay. So Megat just now, right? You can try to share your screen again.
It still appears black.
Yeah, still appear black. It's okay, it's okay. What's your problem? I think I can share my screen and then we navigate together lah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Share my screen. Okay. Which part is your problem?
On landmass of world.
This one, right? Oh, instead of 11%, it shows 0.11, right?
Oh no, mine one, it appears 22980.8.
Oh, okay. That okay. Here, what do you put here on this field? Do you put
Some
percentage of the work? You put max. You change it to max, not some. You put it to max. Okay. What does it show right now? Does it change?
mine already changed.
Okay, because some is
And another one,
22981, right? Okay.
yeah.
So if you put maximum, you can get 11%. All right. So anything else?
Another one, I have problem on this slicer.
This one. This one.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
It does not appear the slider.
Oh, okay. Actually, okay. Here you press here. You already drag here over here, right?
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Once you already drag, you go format visualize. You press slider lah. This one visual. Here you turn on. Because if you turn off, it doesn't appear lah. Right? If you on, it appears. Can you find it?
All right, already fine.
Okay, nice.
Okay, thank you.
All right, no problem. So so right now, right? If, for example, don't expect okay, this is last part lah. Don't expect don't expect to ask your client to install Power BI to what to navigate everything, right? So you have another backup plan. For example, what if there's no internet? And no, sorry. What if your client doesn't have any Power BI installed, right? So what you can do, you can press publish lah. You can press publish. We can save change. Okay. So I put CO2. global emission. All right. So once I publish, it says to ask which destination that I go. I have only one my workspace. I can choose any workspace. So one you have, you press your workspace, because usually, right, some workspace are sorted. If you work in a company that heavily rely on Microsoft Azure, right, they have like a department this, department that. So you have no department. So I have my own workspace. Press select. Okay. So when you have a client, right, don't expect them to have this, have that, right? So you have this contingency plan where, sorry, you can straight get Power BI dashboard out of your server. Okay, this is your personal server. This is not my Power BI. This is a website that I publish. Okay. Okay. So this website is very attractable. You know, I can change it. You know, it still act as the same as my, what do you call it, my Power BI, but this one is mainly for it has very limited function because this is mainly to get your client to look after your visualization rather than ask them to install, because I've encountered some of my not say colleague my client back when I was in a corporate world, right? They don't have Power BI because they use another visualization tool, but they want to look after our end, you know. So you have to publish, right? So you publish, you get this one link, and also this link. For example, if you want to apply for work and you want to showcase your project, instead of giving them screenshot of your dashboard, you can give your actual project. You know, oh, they will recognize, oh, you have did this. It's your Power BI is very interactive. I can, it works. It doesn't, you know, because if you put in screenshot, you know, some people can edit the photo in Photoshop, you know, make it fancy, but it doesn't appears to be a real data. But this one, you can show that you put a lot of effort in making your Power BI dashboard, right? Yeah. So actually here, you can press as well, right? So Hong Kong, China, Nigeria, right? So you can press a lot. You can still interact here. It's diverse lah. So this is mainly to get your clients to get into your data lah, but not into editing and stuff. Editing here is still possible, but it's, you see, you can table 1, table 2, but if you want edit here, it's very limited lah. Number one, it's very limited because it's use cloud computing. Number two, sometimes you want a lot of data, right? It takes time because some specification they use is on the cloud computing is not, it's not really, what do you call that? It's not better than ours lah. For example, you can save in PDF as well. This one, right? So you can export to PowerPoint. You can interact straight to PowerPoint, no problem at all. So this is why I prefer Tableau or no, I prefer Power BI over Tableau, right? That's right. Mobile layout. All right. So actually, you can create a mobile layout over here, right? So for example, if you have a customer that may on mobile, right? So you can look after it. This is Microsoft Fabric that I've shown to you. You can publish to Microsoft Fabric that people can look after all your data, right? So you can make your data, you can make your data globally lah. You need to submit. So reading view is straight out of here lah. Right. So this is very another alternative if you want to show your data to your client or to your customer, right? As if something happen when they don't have any OBI apps in their laptop, so they can use web app, no problem at all. And also, for example, if you have like last minute changes, you can change straight away from here, right? And upload everything. But bear in mind, functionality here is very limited lah. So, so you can see. So this is the data that I've been provided to you. So, so we have seen from zero, right? From zero, we already edited to something tangible, something that we work off, from data that actually can visualize with graph here, right? But graph here is not interactable. Okay, when you see a graph here, publish. If you want to see another part of the graph, you can edit another graph. So here is least interactive lah to here. Yeah. So I am impressive all of you guys that spend all of your time, especially in this wonderful weekend, to learn Power BI, learn from scratch, right? From scratch to get actual data lah, actual dashboard lah. So this dashboard hopefully will be benefit you lah, right? For your SEO learning stuff lah. So actually, right, one thing I would like to touch on is that to manipulate data, it's not only through here. Okay, actually you can go to SQL, right? SQL, because some computer they couldn't handle too much. So some company they have an SQL server, right? So we can like pick we call it data lake, right? So pick data lake and connect here lah, connect to Power BI. So there's a process called ETL process, extract, transform, and load, right? From there to here, okay? So actually, you can get data from where a lot lah. Usually I get data from Kaggle lah to practice, okay? It's a great source of data lah and very reliable data, okay? So someone want to show their anyone have a problem or want to show their dashboard? Wait, or graphic. When we need to use the area data in the table, which table graphic? I got way back a question earlier. I didn't see the chat. Graphic, are you there? You can unmute lah, or you can type.
Hello.
Yeah. You can share your screen
in
if you want.
all data.
Pardon?
Table in Excel have one data about area. Who we use it?
Okay, table in Excel, data about area. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, now, let me share my screen. This data, right? This area, right? Correct? this one, right? Graphic.
Yes.
Yeah. So initially I wanted to remove this. Initially, right before I get this data clean, I want to identify which are useless or redundant data lah. So I okay. So your question is where do we utilize here, right? Correct or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so this data is actually redundant lah. I discovered right after I get the dashboard done lah. So I thought, the area can relate with density, right? So this is redundancy lah. Yeah. Actually, yeah, actually you can delete lah if you want. But the most what do you call it? Okay, the most redundant is code, two-letter short symbolic code, and the calling code. This one, if you want to use for map, it doesn't detect. It only detect this one, right? So I just remove this one. Calling code, I don't think it's very benefit, so I just take whichever this one. Okay, so I think the area, I think you can make another graph that shows the area of the area of that country instead of density and how much of the world, or you can see like how much the area affected on the population or the CO2 emission lah. Actually, it's not really it's you can relate on your data lah, right? For example, if you want to look after the area, okay, you actually can, for example, you press this one. Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'll pick this one. So for example, if you want to look at the area, this one. Okay. So you can see lah, some area, right? So because I didn't put the area, okay, sorry, I didn't put the area over there. I just I put density by country, all right? So yeah, that's about the area lah. Anyone else have any question?
So, yes, sir. Hello.
Right. Yeah.
I have a question. Let's say if you want to like do a presentation using this Power BI, let's say if like most of your slides you're using Canva or PowerPoint, how do we like switch to Power BI? Let's say, can we like import it into one of the slides, or you need to switch to another site to display your dashboard?
Come again. I didn't hear you.
Like, let's say if you are doing a presentation
Okay.
using Canva or PowerPoint,
Okay.
can we somehow incorporate our dashboard into our slides so that we don't have to switch tabs or?
Oh, okay, okay. Actually, it's kind of good question. Okay. So actually, hold on, yeah. Let me new slide. Emission. Sorry. We'll go into file and then export all right? And then export. So you can straightly export your data, but if I'm not mistaken, if you want to make it interactive, I think in PowerPoint it's very limited to get interactable stuff in your PowerPoint. but mainly if you want to control everything straight from the Power BI lah. Because if you want to export from here, it have very limited export. So let me see. This one, you see. So this is your this one, right? So you just press OBI, right? So remember that the one that I said publish, right? You copy this, okay? You get here, okay? Press insert. Okay. So for example, you do a presentation, right? Or you do a pitch deck, or you wanna, like, it can make it tractable, right? I think your question is a very good question. Yeah, you see, right? When you make this kind of what do you call that? Power BI, right? You can actually straight directly present lah. No need to switch tab like what you mentioned lah. Yeah, like to switch tab, switch this. It's straightly with mine is still loading. It straightly give. For example, if you want to send the pitch deck or PowerPoint to your client or your customer, they can straightly navigate all the country, the area, everything. Yeah, actually, why I really like Power BI because Power BI boleh masuk straightly pergi ke PowerPoint. Tak payah switch tab. Kalau tab dulu, you have to switch tab, you have to switch tab, you have to switch tab, right? Wait, it takes time for me to it for loading. So, can I present it? It's still load. Okay, now you see, I present my slide right now. Okay, for example, you talk. Kalau macam ni kan, mana boleh I change, right? I tak boleh change, right? Useless lah. For example, kalau nak kalau nak buat pitch deck, right? Pitch deck, you nak buat pitch deck, right? Takkanlah you nak letak gambar kan? So you letak macam ni lah, right? So people can look after your people can look after your data lah, okay? Example, Pakistan, right? So you can change the year, no problem at all. No need to change line. So actually, OBI is a great tool lah. For example, you see China, 1, 2, 3, 4, four highest CO2 emission by country. Yeah, actually it's a nice feature lah. You see, I don't need to switch that. Even, for example, kalau I close the Power BI, I totally shut down, right? It still can work as long as the server of your workspace still run, right? You can see here it shows live data, okay? Contohnya kan, kalau you ada data from 2021, you sorted it out, and then you can upload. You just load this tablet. You buang data lama, you load. No need to edit everything. Dia boleh adjust sendiri. Tapi you can clean the data, right? And so this is what I did lah back then. They don't like, you know, you want to put a you want to put a screenshot like this. Ini lah boleh edit, right? You press cannot, right? So to save your time, for example, I press Palestine over here, right? And they will detect, right? Taiwan, right? Singapore. So it's very interactive features lah in PowerPoint. So because PowerPoint and Microsoft same thing. So yeah, does this answer your question? All right, can
Yes, sure. Thank you very much.
Right, no problem. How can change? Oh, you want to share your screen or use my screen? FRDS.
I'm using a second device right now, so can you share your screen?
All right, sure.
Thank you.
All right, no problem. So basically, right? Wait. Okay, do you see my screen? So basically, I think it's my rookie mistake. I used to clean. Wait, sorry. Let me share my screen. Share screen. I think it's my rookie mistake. I used to clean data straight from here. I thought it already been cleaned. For example, here, right, percentage is straight detect percentage. Tetapi here, initially it doesn't detect percentage. It detects as decimal number. For example, decimal number over here, right? Okay, kalau kita pergi sini, dia akan dapat kosong, right? 0.11 lah. Because for example, if I put 0.11, this is what you get, right? So what you have to do is to change this decimal number to percentage in table view. Does this solve your problem?
Oh yeah, it did. Thanks.
All right, no problem. So I think that is all from me, and thank you for spending time to learn Power BI in this wonderful weekend. I think we end quite early lah. Yeah. All right, I think that is all from me.
All right, everyone, let's thank Mr. Hollis Francis with a round of applause, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Hollis. It was truly a spectacular, in-depth guide towards Power BI. I'm sure you sparked interest in many of us. And also, thank you so much to the curious audience members who posed all those insightful questions, Your engagement truly enhances the depth of discussions in events like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next agenda. As a gesture of genuine appreciation, I would like to extend an invitation to the Vice Director of SPE-UTM SE, Software Workshop 2024, Muhammad Haikal bin Azahari, and the Vice President of SPE-UTM SE, Carlos Shedek Anak Nunsong, to please turn on your cameras to present the e-certificate to our esteemed speaker of today's event, Mr. Hollis Francis. Please welcome. Mr. Carlos, maybe you can turn on your camera to come join us on the stage.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Hollis. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now it is time for the photography session. So attention to the speaker and participants and everyone present in this meeting today. Please turn on your cameras and join us with the widest smile on your face. And let's capture this moment with an everlasting photograph. Please welcome everyone.
Nomor dasar, Mas? One, two, three. Okay. One, two, three. Okay. One, two, three. Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your kind cooperations. Now, before we conclude, participants, mute your mic. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, before we conclude, participants are kindly requested to scan the QR code displayed on the screen to provide feedback for today's event. And please note that this feedback is also your UTM merit, so make sure to do so. Come on, please take a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, as the saying goes, every beginning has its ending, and it is indeed time that we conclude the SPE-UTM SC Software Workshop 2024. This marks the end of our event, and I sincerely hope that each and every one of you enjoyed this captivating session with Mr. Hollis Francis. On behalf of the organizing committee, I, Gautam Gunasekharan, would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you and your participation for staying with us throughout this delightful event. An enormous appreciation goes out to the Software Workshop Committee members who have worked tirelessly and dedicated their time and efforts to making this event a success. If we have made any mistakes or inadvertently caused any offense during the course of this event, please accept this as our sincerest apology from the team. Thank you once again for being part of the team, and good night.
Right. Thank you so much, everyone. Hope that this benefit all of you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
All right.
Thank you, Mr.
Welcome.
Hollis.
Welcome. Yeah, a lot of skill. All right. Welcome. Thank you, organizer, as well.
Thank you.